The creator program for Dead by Daylight is nothing new. In 2019, Behavior came out with the Fog Whisperer program, which essentially functioned as an advisor board made up of creators for Behavior, and which stuck around for years until 2025. While Behavior was putting out unironic downgrades to the game and jingling keys in Reddit's face to distract from it, they also revamped the program, renaming it to the Creator Program, and accepting significantly more creators. This included your typical shills, such as Alex Wasabi and Scott Yund, but even people who had legitimate critiques of Behavior's practices and treatment of the game, like Pixelbush and Mitzel. And Behavior must have seriously started giving out benefits for towing their line, because the DBD community, at least the part that Behavior wants you to engage with, is a giant circle jerk of the same talking points over and over again, along with the largest amount of survivor apologetics I've ever seen in my life. Just look at this video by Midskull. This thumbnail alone is doing insane mental gymnastics in favor of survivors. Implying that NOED, a perk that only activates an endgame, reveals its effect immediately after down with it, only works with basic attacks and M1 killers, who are, with a few exceptions, the absolute gutter tier of the game, and fucking reveals its location over time, so it is almost guaranteed to be deactivated unless you're camping next to it. Comparing this perk to a perk that passively counters every status effect in the game is insane, and also, bringing up that it inflates kill rates for bad killers is such a nothing argument. If it's an issue for someone to get a single kill because of a perk, what about the countless matches of bad survivors escaping because they have Deliverance, Shoulder, DS, Off the Record, and all the other anti-camp, anti-tunnel, and anti-slug perks that reward you for doing literally nothing? This is all talking about the casual players as well. This argument is even worse when you talk about skilled players who barely get a tie with NOED because the survivors abuse their second chance perks and you can do nothing about it. The meat of this video is not much better.
On the 14th of September of 2017, Behavior would release Leatherface, a killer with a teachable perk called Knockout. However, it would take the devs almost 8 years until the 2nd of April of 2025 to rework the perk. The reason? It was deemed as unhealthy because it incentivized slugging. Why am I telling you this? Because it's never too late to start nerfing unhealthy perks.
The first prime example Midskull uses for an unhealthy perk is Knockout, which in its old iteration still had counterplay and actually enabled killers to slug if they chose to, which is a viable alternative to hooking and is literally necessary to win the game in certain instances. Having Knockout and leaving someone slugged if they were under a pallet, for example, meant that you would have them on the ground for longer since it would take them longer to be picked up, actually allowing you to capitalize on a survivor playing overly altruistically and get an injure or even a down before they were back up. But since killers are an oppressed minority within the DBD community, the perk was reworked to something completely useless. Every single killer perk in the game forces you to work to earn it, but even if you get rewarded with basically nothing. When it comes to survivor perks though, just by equipping them you get a massive advantage in a match, to the point that you could say that way, well, change your life.
Got detergent through it? Oh, I fucked up. Good thing I dropped detergent. It's not a game. I'm not a robot, and I challenging you. I'm not a venom. I'm in your face, and I'm here to see it through. Right before your eyes, what just multiply? Got the flame right. It's time. As the power grows, try to stop us shows. Light that way will shine. Stop time.
You might argue that what I've mentioned doesn't necessarily reflect badly upon the creator program, and that questionable balance opinions have always been part of the Dead by Daylight creator spirit, which isn't exactly untrue, but let me ask you this. Do you think it makes logical sense for Pixelbush, somebody who has always been extremely vocal about his critical stance on Behavior's overuse of the same ideas for killer powers to the point where he made an hour-long video talking about it and coined the term dash flop, to suddenly start licking the boots of Jason and comparing him to Skull Merchant when he is literally a retread of a retread? There are negligible differences between Jason's teleport and Dracula's bat form, yet he conveniently just ignores them, gets on his knees for Behavior in a way that Derek himself would blush. The obvious answer to why is incentives. Even with Behavior being as quiet as they are about what goes on in the creator program, just based on what happened with the Jason reveal, we can see that Behavior is visibly giving more benefits to those in the program likely to buy their approval. Creators like Spooky Loops got exclusive early access to Jason and likely knew about him coming out as the anniversary well before anyone else did. Creators in the program get exclusive drops on Twitch that people genuinely care about and will spend hours watching for and get free Orexcel codes that give them a portion of the revenue made from Orexcel purchases with said code. If they're willing to let the public know about those benefits, who knows how much caviar Behavior is metaphorically shoveling into their mouth to buy their approval. Even Otstarva made videos talking about the gap in Behavior's balancing when it comes to killers. But now that there hasn't been any balance changes for months, his mouth is sealed. Shut, only able to utter the words, be grateful to every slop release. The response should be clear. Stop taking these shows seriously. They have Behavior's pockets in mind, not you nor the game's best interests.